Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Doctor Dolittle 3. Yeah, the third in a trilogy, the epic Doctor Dolittle trilogy. This one, of course, it contains absolutely no Eddie Murphy whatsoever. There's references to him, but if you watched Doctor Dolittle 2, you kind of knew where this was heading at the end of that film. Spoilers. It turns out his daughter has his same ability to talk to animals. It was part of a. It was actually, I think, a fairly decent storyline in that where he wasn't connecting with his daughter anymore, and he was wondering why, and she was. It was a metaphor for, coming of age, growing up, and things like that. But she wasn't. She felt like a freak because she was suddenly hearing things that was just like her dad. And her dad became famous and was harassed and hounded for so long when he became famous for being the guy who could talk to animals. Not just by humans, but by animals as well. Always coming to him going, hey, I got a problem. You can hear me, understand me? Let's take care of this problem. Well, now it's her problem. Although it displays her as a doctor, she's in high school. She's certainly not a doctor. She's not in college. I don't know. It totally took me out of this. Everybody looks, 15 in this. Even the 30-year-olds. Or actually the 30-year-olds who are playing 15-year-olds, yeah, look like 30-year-olds. But still, it is... I could be wrong about those ages, by the way. The poster here shows her with, like a doctor's coat and, those things that can listen to your heartbeat and stuff like that. Well, it's a little misleading. She's not all grown up yet. Mainly because she kind of gets grounded for, skipping out of certain responsibilities and going to a party, and she just wants to be normal. Mom punishes her by sending her to the country to a dude ranch. Okay, this takes place in San Francisco at first, and then it moves to the country. I guess you could. It's a fairly cheap set somewhere in the outside of San Francisco or outside of LA, more than likely. And she of course. She arrives. She was not receptive to it at first, but then she realized, well, maybe I could just get out of here and sort of start over a bit to a certain degree. But at the same time, it's the country. She's going to a ranch. It's full of animals, and all the animals are talking to her. She can hear them what they say, even though they don't necessarily know she's a Dolittle. So they're used to being ignored for the most part whenever they're talking. Of course, her dog comes along, voiced but uncredited Norm Macdonald. So, yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice. I mean, Norm Macdonald is easily the most famous person in this film, other than John Amos, who plays Judd Jones. He's a guy who owns a ranch as part of a very cliche storyline that I'll tell you about in a moment. I'm not going to worry about spoilers too much on this. It's, once you see what's going to happen, you know how it ends. The good guys have to win, and yes, there's a good guy, bad guy thing, even though it's paper thin. It's so paper thin. The majority of the story is about her coming to grips with her abilities and also realizing that she's not a freak. She's different, but it's not a bad thing. And she's doing her best to hide her ability. She changes her name when she gets to camp so that nobody knows who she is. And it turns out her ability is the very thing that can help save the ranch. Yes, it's one of those stories where, oh, look, there's a rival ranch from across the creek or something, and it's all full of really snobby attractive young people that are all just perfect in every way, and all the people in her camp are awkward or fat. Like, there's so many fat jokes in this for one guy. what's his name? He seems so familiar. I think it's Tommy Snyder plays Clayton. By the way, Callum Worthy is in this, and I recognize his name, but I can't say that I've seen anything that he's in. But that name is familiar, so I don't know. He's in this. He plays a complete dork too. I mean, everybody in her camp is dorky or is a jerk, hates her, treats her like garbage. Her rival here, they seem to be getting along real well here. This is late in the movie. Kiki, I think, she's just a jerk to Maya the whole time. Played by Kyla Pratt, by the way. Kyla Pratt is our star, and so every cliche in the Disney and YA and younger, the preteen story movie book is thrown at you. There's mean girls, there's bullies, there's rival team. The ranch is going to be shut down because they don't have enough money, and the only thing that can make it happen is if the kids who are just like city kids who just learn how to rope and ride a horse and do everything else over like a few weeks, I guess, suddenly have the ability to win a rodeo. They have to win a rodeo, or John Amos's he plays Judd Jones. John Amos is, if you don't recognize the name John Amos, if you saw him, if you see what I'm seeing here, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen him in a million movies. He's just par excellence when it comes to character actors. He's been in so much stuff. So he's gonna lose his ranch if they don't find the money. And there's always a smug guy who's gonna buy it out. He's at the neighboring ranch where all the attractive, cool, rich kids are that are also really good at, but they're really skilled at doing ranch stuff, like wrestling bulls or something. I don't know, and roping and riding and all that other stuff. So I mean, again, every single concept, every single situation, conflict, you have seen in 1,000 different movies, and it's all sort of crammed into here. And between each of these scenes, you find that even though she left him behind, her dog, voiced by Norm Macdonald, has followed her to the country, and he makes jokes. He says funny things. Stuff that I imagine Norm Macdonald was actually grinding his teeth through. Or he's just like, you know what? Paycheck. Paycheck, but take my name off the film. That's my agreement. I will come back for a third film if you do not credit me. I don't recall if he was credited in the last two, but he is the most prominent character, and the character I like the most in this, even though most of his lines are just bad jokes, just bad stuff that kids will appreciate and find silly and cute, because it's a children's film. It's a film for kids. It's not meant for me. It's not meant to help me as an adult understand who I am. No, it's for kids. So yeah, it's not made for me, but when he was around, Norm Macdonald hopefully got paid a good amount of money to talk like a dog. And to me, it almost feels like he's on the verge of saying something a lot more controversial, and they're like, okay, we got to take another take, Norm. Let's do another one. What's on the paper? And I just want to hear his outtakes. I really do. So yeah, between the bullies and the mean girls and the fighting and everything that's making Maya hide herself, hide who she is, and see the kids around her are dealing with the same thing. One kid is fat, but he's not fat. He's a big guy for a teenager, but they squeeze so much fat jokes out of this. And at the end, there's just a voiceover that kind of says, oh, this is what happened to everybody after they left, and like, well, Clayton lost a bunch of weight, and now he's a ladies' man, and That's voiced over by Norm Macdonald as the dog, who apparently has omniscience and knows everything that happened to everybody after they left the ranch. I don't know. He is quite handsome now. Yeah, he's slimmed down, but it's still there's not a lot to this, and without Eddie Murphy, it's a lot of the spirit that. To me, also, seems like the Dolittle stuff was beneath him. But again, children's films, you're going to do all sorts of things in your career. And why not do a 20th Century Studios, or 20th Century Fox at the time, 20th Century Studios children's film based on a well-known character of Dr. Dolittle, at least in previous generations. And then pass it down to your movie daughter. And, yeah, like I said, once you see what things have started, you know how they end. Because there's no chance in the world that any of these storylines are ever going to roll out differently. Is there a giant challenge for the team to overcome their shortcomings? And will Maya use her ability to talk to animals to make them work with her and the other kids to do better in the rodeo? Of course, yes. And will there be challenges along the way that they will overcome even without using her abilities? Yeah, sure. Will they win the $50,000 that will save the ranch and contracts are torn up and stuff? Sure. That's going to happen. You you know it. There's no mystery in this. So, yeah, I can't say you should watch it, but if you got kids and they like the first two and they don't mind not seeing Eddie Murphy, yeah, and they want to follow along with Maya, watch it. But you're not gonna, as an adult, you're never not gonna go, oh my gosh, thank you for closing out the trilogy. I got closure in this third one. Nobody's dancing with Ewoks at the end of this, and Maya looking back at the ghost of her father or something. No, he's not dead, by the way, but he's just not there. He's busy, and there's no amount of money that's going to make him show up for his daughter's birthday ranch gathering. Or ranch birthday gathering. Doesn't matter. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 54. Excuse me. Oh, you know what? We have so few shorts and movies. I think we have 4. This was 5, one of 5 movies we had left, and now we have 4 movies remaining in this quarter. There might be more movies coming later, like Zootopia 2, and Avatar will eventually show up, probably within the range of when this series comes to an end. Sure, but at this point, there's only 4 movies, and there's barely a few more. Let me tell you, one's animated. There's so few. One's animated. One is a Disney Channel type movie starring Lindsay Lohan. Another is a Lifetime Channel movie, which maybe will be taken away from us at some point by Hulu. And another one is an actual film that was in theaters at one point. Well, so is the animated one, but I'm not going to tell you what they are, but when we get to them. But we also we have shorts and specials and things like that. There's only a handful of those. I could probably count them on 2 hands, how many shorts we have. And that's what we got here. I imagine it's just, I'm going to watch a handful of these. I don't know how many there are, but it's from the Marvel milieu. We're going to be watching Marvel's Spidey and Iron Man Avengers Team Up. Yeah, that's number 54. Yeah, so when it's yellow, it means it's shorts. So that's how I categorized it. Unless I did it wrong, we're going to watch at least 1 or 2, depending on how long they are. They're short, so Marvel's Spidey and Iron Man Avengers team up is what we're watching next at the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.